Peace be upon you. To my family out there, we back for another blog shooting. As you know, my audience out there know, this is Wakil Live, and we back once again. A couple of days was in between the last shoot and now, but we here, and it's sounding like a cliche, but I want y'all to know this. It's really becoming it's really becoming a reoccurring thing. You know what I mean? As far as saying, we're in dire times now. You know what I mean? And it's just so much on my mind. I said this before on the last shoot. I see. You know what I mean? And I find myself reverting back and saying some of the same things in the openings, in the opening of the blogs, because it's the same thing going on. You know what I'm saying? And we here now to speak on this. And this blog will be on what's going on right now currently in my city that I reside in. It's going on all across the world, really, and definitely all across the cities in the United States. But this right now has kind of basically it's come to the city where I do it, which is Charlotte, North Carolina. So, let's get right into this. Okay. Tuesday, which was September the 20th, that was this past Tuesday, it was a shooting of a black man, a brother, by a police officer. And the police officer was black, by the way, but still, nevertheless, he was a police officer. But we're going to elaborate more on that into this as we go a little further into this blog right here. But anyway, Tuesday, September the 20th, Tuesday afternoon, a brother got shot by a police officer, right? The details, we got a lot of the he say, she say, one side saying this, one side saying that, but it's only one truth, and we're going to get to the bottom of that. So, with that being said, this is what I recall, and this is what is being told by, the people who eyewitnessed the situation, take place, including his wife, who recorded the video on her phone, recorded everything. So, the brother, this is the story. The brother was sitting in his apartment complex in his truck, waiting on the bus to come, the school bus, which brings his kid home from school. So, at that time, Tuesday afternoon. So, the cops get a call to go out to the apartment complex where he lives at. But they had a warrant looking for a particular individual, which was not him, another person who supposedly lived out in that complex. So we don't know why they end up rolling up on him 4 or 5 deep as they did and drawing their guns out on him and telling him to get out of his truck. But nevertheless, that's what happened. So they rolled up on the brother, told him to get out of his truck. He got out of his truck, and his wife was filming from a couple of feet away because she was ready to come outside and give him a charger to charge up his phone, give him a car charger. So she saw the police swarm up on him, and she started immediately recording. So, the video had already went viral. You could look it up on in social media. You're going to see it. I seen it, many others seen it, and it's up there for whoever didn't see it. All you have to do is type in Charlotte shooting, the video of Charlotte shooting, and you can see it and view it yourself. But anyway, back to this, back to the matter at hand. So as he was sitting in his car, the police rolled up on him out of nowhere. They swarmed up on him, told him to get out of the car. Now, in the midst of all this, and it wasn't that close upon him, I don't know how they saw a gun in the car when he was sitting in the car. You know what I'm saying? But this is what they say, they saw him have a gun. I believe, I don't know if they're saying they saw him with a gun in the car, when he was sitting in the car, or when he got out of the car, because they haven't even made that clear yet. Because what they're doing is they're telling lies, and we're going to get to that in a minute. But anyway, He stepped out of the car, like they said, and he had a black book in his lap. This is what an eyewitness, a lady that lives out in the apartment complex, gave an eyewitness testimony, eyewitness account of this right here. You know what I mean? It's going to be a testimony because y'all know this is going to court. This is going to be a big case. So, you know, I'm not far off by saying eyewitness testimony because she's going to be a star witness. And it's going to be very serious in the field. So, you know, but back to this. She gave an eyewitness account because she was looking from her second story window at the whole thing. And she said, and she's, by the way, you can pull up a video on social media. You have to do is eyewitness of Charlotte, North Carolina shooting of Keith Lamont Scott. So you can pull that up and that'll come right up. I can't recall the sister's name right now, but you can pull that up and it'll come up and you'll be able to view it for yourself and hear what she had to say about the matter. And a few others, by the way. But anyway, so he got out of his truck and it is said he had a black book in his lap. The book was black. Nobody know what the book was. That's not important. The book fell out of his lap on the floor, on the ground. You know what I mean? As he got out of his truck. So he got out of his truck. They said they were saying, back up, they were screaming orders or whatever. So I suppose this is what they saying. They saw a gun. At that time, he had a gun, which I told y'all the eyewitness, the sister who was eyewitnessing the whole thing, said he never had a gun. She said it was a book. She saw it with her own eyes. His wife knew he had a book, and the other people who witnessed it say the same thing. The stories are corroborated. So, you know what I mean? They see that. They say he had a gun. All right. They tell him to back up, to come back. He's backing up with his hands in the air. And the next thing you know, as soon as he's backing up to the back of the truck, you hear 4 shots. Pop, pop, pop. They shot. He falls to the ground. You know, his wife is recording the whole thing in the meantime, right? Mind you, she's recording the whole thing. And she's talking on the video like, yo, don't shoot him, don't shoot him. And then you hear the shot, pop, pop, pop. He falls, and then she said, I know y'all don't shoot him. I know y'all didn't shoot him. She was trying to get ready to come closer. And they told her, don't you come any closer. They threatened her like they was going to shoot her. And she was like, I'm not coming closer. I'm right here. So this is all a mess, man. And so, you know, she's still recording. But let me show you how the Most High works. As she was recording, I'm quite sure she didn't know what was going on. But she kept recording, and this video ended up recording later on, seeing when a cop came on the scene, another cop, black cop at that. Hear me on that, all right? Comes on the scene, and he's standing over next. A white cop is standing like diagonally right across from him, and I guess they all communicating. You know what I mean? We can't hear what they're saying because the videos, at that time you can't really hear what they're saying. So, you know, next thing you know, you see him drop something. I mean, he dropped a gun, not even something, I mean, you can see it when the camera's on there. It's a gun. He drops it right there and kicks it over. You see they put it on their gloves, you know what I mean? Then he dropped something else, you know, which was another gun in the scene. So, I mean, you know, a video doesn't lie. A video doesn't lie. You see what it is, you see it with your own eyes, you can take it in for yourself and assess it. You can come up with your own analyzed confirmation of what took place when you see the video. You know what I mean? Because the video is going to be conforming to that. Because when you see that at that particular time, you know, the officers, what they're doing After the officer drops the gun, and he drops the second gun. You really don't see. After that, I mean, you know, the video it's not going to be much longer video. So, you know, whatever was done before anybody else came on the scene, man, was done then. You know what I mean? So now, that's what we have with that. You know what I mean? It's no going in and, you know what I mean, elaborating and just, you know, all the technicalities, man. You know, when you have something like this on a video, I mean, you know, you've seen it with your naked eye, man. But it's nothing else to debate, man. It's nothing else to debate. The guilty must be found guilty. They must be charged as being guilty, and they must be held accountable for their own actions. Plain and simple. You know what I mean? Plain and simple. But we know about this so-called justice system. We already know what it is. We already see what we got. We already see what the outcome is, time and time and time again. The same freaking thing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when is it going to stop? Or is it ever going to stop? My question is, when is it going to stop? My answer? It's never going to stop until we do something about it. Because, as the saying goes, when a bully is bullying, doing the things that he does best, which is bullying, being a bully, the only thing that's going to stop a bully is for that bully to get put in his place, checked. You know what I mean? And we all know what that means. You know what I mean? So, you know, we're not going to even play around with the matter right now because it's too serious for that. So, you know. And so we all know by now too. I don't know if people know outside of the city of Charlotte, but they should, because this was nationwide, man. All news broadcast companies, all news broadcasting channels was on this right here. You know what I'm saying? Because that happened Tuesday night, and like I said, the next night, which was Wednesday, September the 21st, Wednesday night, about 8:30, about 7:30, 8 o'clock, the protesting started uptown Charlotte. I happened to be coming through uptown about 45 minutes later, about 8, a little after 8, about 8:30, and I actually came in. I actually got uptown at the time and saw the protesters marching up Trade Street. That's the main street. That's one of the main streets uptown Charlotte, right in front of the bus transit. All right. So I ended up marching with the protesters like 2 blocks. Because you know how I am, anybody knows me, know if I came up on something like that, I'm going to jump right in it. You know what I mean? And I did that for 2 blocks, and I stood out. I was out for a little while. Then after that, I went ahead and I went about my way and went on in. So I was going back, as I was waiting on my bus, one of the bus drivers was standing next to me, and he was on the phone, and he was like, hey man, they just shot. I guess he was getting information from one of his people who called him and told him that not too long, like just a couple of minutes ago, a protester got shot in the head, and that was like 2 blocks up in the same area where I just left, like about 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. So we all was like, what? Everybody that was in the area. So, excuse me. So, you know, the news was spreading around at that time, and you know, so I heard that right then and there, right, like not far from the place, but it's not far from the scene of the crime. So, you know, and you know, with that being said, I mean, you know, they basically tore the city up in some way that night, which was Wednesday night. You know, it's all in the newspapers, the pictures, and everything, man. I mean, you know, I saw it kind of firsthand, and I mean, you know, a lot more got done than I even thought, because the next day, as we saw in the news, it was a lot of things, there was a lot of damage done, man. People are angry, man. People are upset. We're not going to take this no more, man. It's to it has reached the boiling point. Like a volcano, when the volcano had reached the point of almost eruption, I mean, you know, you can hear the rumblings, you can feel them. You know the volcano can't hold on anymore. It can't hold on. It must release the lava. It must erupt. So, you know, I mean, this is where we are as a society, man. You know, black people not gonna take that no more. I already said it in blogs before this. I mean, you know, this is what it is. I mean, no more talking about it too much anymore because we're just gonna sit back and we're gonna let everything happen the way it's supposed to happen. If it's divinely decreed, it shall be. So, you know, we're not gonna take this no more. We're not gonna take this no more. We're not gonna take it no more. If y'all can't come to the table, and the police themselves, meaning the police, that's the only way you're gonna get rid of these cops, man. That's the only way you're gonna get rid of, clean out the system of these cops, these rogue cops, man. The cops gotta police themselves. Is that gonna happen? It's a slim chance. Knowing these people, knowing their system, knowing what the system is built on, knowing what the system is founded on, which is racism, white supremacy, like Dr. Francis Cress Weston said, they have a psychological illness to where they are psychologically, they psychological makeup of us, we are so deeply embedded into their psyche because they know that we have the goods to annihilate them. To where it won't be one of them, it won't be one pure white Caucasian on the face of this earth. And we don't have to do it intentionally. We can do it by them just mixing, just intermarrying with us. And this is what they fear, right? Genetic annihilation. It's going to happen anyway, whether they fear it or not, or whether they want it to or not. Because of the destruction that they cause, man, and the hate, all of the bloodshed, the destruction, the killing, the murdering, the pillaging that these people did on the planet Earth, on our planet Earth, they're gonna have to pay for that, and that's the way they're gonna pay for it. Their time is near. Their time is near the end as far as on this earth. They gotta go because they're disagreeable to live with. We already tried everything to try to live with these people. We disagreeable. If that be the case, and I believe they disagreeable to leave with, I mean, you know, we best separate. That's what it is, man. I believe we'll be better off. Matter of fact, I know we will be. But that remains to be seen. So all we got to do is stick around and we'll see what the future holds, inshallah. You know what I mean? So, you know, with that being said, I'm going to get now back to the story. So that night of the protest, after we heard that another brother got shot, this is the extra news that came right after that. The protesters were saying the cops, it was a cop that shot the brother, and the cops were saying right then and there. And I heard it furthermore the next morning. They were both saying, the cops were saying that a civilian, and the news brought, and all of the news channels were saying that because the cops fed him this and told them this is what it was, and he was running with it, that a civilian, another black man, was standing across the street, or standing on the corner where I guess where the crowd of protesters was standing at, and he shot in the crowd and ran up the block. This is what they said. But then it came out later, the protesters, when they started interviewing the protesters were saying, eyewitnesses who was right there next to the brother. I mean, literally his blood flew on a few of them. Man, I seen an interview with this one sister. She was distraught, man. She was standing right there next to the young brother when he got shot. And the blood, his blood splattered on her face. And her friend had to wipe her glasses off and wipe her face off. She never saw nothing like that before, I could tell. Up close, approaching right there on her like that, and she was destroyed. And she said that the cop shot the guy, shot the brother. She saw it. And a few others, eyewitnesses, seen it. So this is what it is, man. This is, and by the way, the brother ended up dying. I don't have his name right now, but I'm gonna actually, you know, they're not even talking about nothing. They're not even writing nothing up on him in the newspaper yet. I haven't seen, or in the news. So, you know, but I'm gonna look into that right after the shooting and see what's out there as far as trying to find out his identity. But anyway, you know, in this city right here, Charlotte, like many other cities in all over the U.S. right now, you know what I mean? The United Snakes of America, okay? Yeah, just this city, just like many others, is at a crossroads, man, you know? This ain't the first time killing a black man here in this city, within this city, more or less abroad within the nation. So, you know, we just had one here, 2013, a couple of years ago. It was a national known case. Jonathan Ferrell, the brother, right? Saying, man, he was coming home, you know, in the AM, early in the AM. He got in a wreck, his car flipped over, he made it out of his car, because he was a pretty strong brother from what I understand. Made it out of the car flipped over like for a couple of times. So he made it out of the car, he crawled out of the car. I mean, yo, you could just imagine, his car flipped over 4 or 5 times, he was in a delusional state, man. So, you know, the car flips over, he makes it out of the car, and he's actually looking for help. I mean, you know, he's out somewhere in the port of Charlotte at that time. I mean, you know, it's 2 a.m. and, you know, it's dark, and, you know, it's not many houses around. There's not many, you know, it's not uptown area, you know what I'm saying? It's not bright city light area in the AM. So anyway, he goes and tries to knock on someone's door. He comes up on the house and looking for help. And, you know, they call the police. I don't know. They call the police, thinking of some crazy stuff, like a burglar, whatever have you, I don't know, somebody trying to harm him. But he didn't try to do anything like that. But anyway, they wanted that. But anyway, that's what happened. So the first cop come up on the scene, some white guy, some young white guy, Kerrick, whatever his name was, Kerrick, Officer Kerrick, I remember his name. So anyway, he pulls out, sees him, pulls out his gun, tells him whatever. Brother's coming forward to him and trying to tell him what took place. He opens fire and shoots the brother 12, 13 times. You know what I mean? And guess what happened when he went to trial? No indictment. Found not guilty. Hung jury. And the whole time he was suspended with pay. He was suspended with pay. All right? The whole time. And it took like about a year for that case to come out. See, this is what we're talking about, man. This is what we're talking about. You know? This is what we're talking about. You can't tell me that this right here is not an issue that definitely ain't gonna be addressed. And we're gonna sweep it under the rug like it's just gonna be forgotten about, and tomorrow we can go about our lives living happily ever after. Nah, it don't work like that. Don't work like that, man. Sorry, don't work like that. Don't work like that. And if you think you're gonna continue, and if anybody out there think it's gonna continue without repercussion, man, you living in an imaginary world. You living in a glass house, man. That's gonna be broken. That's gonna be torn down. That's gonna be blown down. Believe that. You know what I'm saying? Believe that. And this is 2016. That happened in 2013. And countless others like that. We just had another shooting in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That was on the 16th. A couple of days before this, before the brother Bashir, his name was Bashir, but also known as Keith Lamont Scott, before he got shot down, 20th of this, the 20th September, the 16th of September, we just had a shooting in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where they shot the brother, Terrence Kutcher. We seen the video, they had the video out about that. That's viral now, man. It's just one thing after another, man. It's sickening, to tell you the truth. So, you know, with that being said, this is where we at. This is where we at. And you know, I say this right here. The chief of police was out there Wednesday night at the protest. He was out there on the front lines with all of the cops in their riot gear and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And they was supposedly, I don't know, trying to keep the peace. But you know what? You know what? You know, and he actually, you know what I mean, said something prematurely that I believe he shouldn't have never said, but he's sticking up for his officers. He said that the brother had a gun on him, Brother Keith Lamont Scott. May he rest in peace. May he rest in power. Before the actual, before he can even, I mean, before the investigation even started on the case, like everything right now is suspect. Everything right now is not concrete. So how can you say you know he had a gun on him? When in actuality the video shows you don't see any gun in his hands when he gets out of his truck. So how can you come on national television news broadcast and in the newspapers and say that he had a gun before you had all of the information and all of the evidence processed to come up with that conclusion? Okay? But, and by the way, the chief of police here is a black man. Here we go again. Need I say more about that? Token Negroes. You know what I mean? Token Negroes. You know what I mean? It's doing the job, you know what I mean? Doing the job of the master. Greetings, family. I'm back. It's Wakil. You know, back from a little hiatus from the last blog that was shot, which was on September the 26th, right? So we had some technical difficulties to where we had to end the shooting at that time. It basically, you know, so the shooting was actually delayed at that time, and we had to cut it. So you know, we had to really get back to finishing it up. I didn't want to leave y'all like this, leave the audience out there like that furthermore, because you know it was basically undone. So you know, we picked back up. The day is October the 11th. You know what I mean? It took a couple of days in between the last shoot to finish this up because you know, just busy, man, you know, and that's what it is. So, you know, this is just the ending up of that. I mean, you know, I think I left off at, I mean, I was talking about, well, you know, the blog, first of all, was about the shooting of the brother here in Charlotte, Keith Lamont Scott, you know. That's what sparked off everything, you know what I mean? And after that, after the shooting, which he was murdered, assassinated on September the 20th, I believe, and that was on a Tuesday, you know, which is a couple of weeks ago. So he was killed on September the 20th, and after that, his death sparked off a riot, a protesting riot, many riots, if you want to call it, protesting, many riots, many flash points with police officers in the streets of Charlotte, uptown Charlotte. And around uptown Charlotte every year. So on the 21st, which was the next day, he was murdered on the 20th September, and the protests and many riots jumped off September the 21st, which was the next day, and that was a Wednesday, because I actually was coming through uptown at that time, headed home, and I actually came in the middle of it, you know what I mean, that evening, that night, furthermore. And I marched with the protesters up Trade Street, you know what I mean? Because I got to the transit and I saw the protesters was marching up, you know what I mean? Trade Street. Trade Street is the main street in front of the main bus transit, uptown Charlotte. Anyone here in Charlotte knows what I'm talking about. But anyway, I marched up from in front of the Spectrum Center, which was formerly known as Time Warner Cable Arena, where the Bobcat, excuse me, I'm talking about the Bobcat, where the Charlotte Hornets now, because they just rechanged their name to Charlotte Hornets, where the Charlotte Hornets play at. And right across the street, right in front of the Spectrum Center, as it's called now, is the main bus transit, you know what I mean? City bus transit. So, you know, the protesters that night, when I got up to the transit, they were walking up. They was heading up towards Tryon. So, you know, I marched with them up to, I think, Caldwell. And they stopped right there in front of the epicenter. So, you know, we stood there, and I mean, you know, it was a lot of people. There was probably about 300 people, probably about a couple of hundred people, 200 to 300 people out there. And, you know, people was letting their voice be heard, man. Just letting out the frustration of knowing that this brother just got killed. And to speak on that, you know, furthermore to speak on that, so, you know, I was up there for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then my bus was getting ready to leave, so I left. I went back down in the transit, and I got back on the bus, and I left, and I went home, you know what I mean? Well, before we did that, before my bus came, there was some events happened. Well, a few events out here from, you know, after leaving that I heard later, but because one of the main things, it wasn't an event, this is very serious, man. Another brother got shot that particular night. You know what I mean? Like, right after I left and went back, right after I left the crowd of protesters and marchers, I went back to the transit and was waiting on my bus. So during that time, like about 20 minutes after I got back to the transit, I'm hearing it's like an uproar, and we seeing the crowd, we seeing people moving, and, you know, and I'm like, what's going on? So, you know, one of the bus drivers came next to me, and he was like, man, you won't believe what happened, man. They saying, one of his peoples was telling him at that time that one of an officer came up right in the crowd after they shot tear gas into the crowd, protesters, and came right up in the crowd and shot a brother in his head, at point blank range, basically. So, you know, I'm hearing that, I'm like, what? And he told me, he said, yeah, because he was on the phone with one of his peoples at that time, and they was telling him that who was there, who saw it. So, meanwhile, I had just left, like 15, 20 minutes ago, you know what I mean? So, I just left the crowd, you know what I mean? I don't know if that was the crowd, it was a crowd, but I don't know if that was a particular crowd, but it happened, come to find out after all this, and I found out it happened on that same block, you know what I mean? So, you know, there it is. So, you know, and it was true, actually. The brother got shot in the head. And you know what the city police was saying, including the police chief here? He was saying that they were saying that another African American male was across the street and shot the brother. He shot in the crowd and shot him in his head. And then he ran up the block. And this is what they say, a witness or witnesses say they saw, blah, cops, or whatever the case may be. You know, whatever. But anyway, this is what they said. Now, in direct contrast to that right there, you had eyewitnesses who was there, who was right there next to the young brother who got shot. Now they have this on you. I can go on YouTube right now and pull those up and show them if they haven't taken them down already. But I saw the videos right after that, so I seen them with my own eyes, so I know they were real and they existed, because one female, young sister, was standing right next to the young brother who got shot in the head. She said it was an officer who came right up and shot him in the head. No reason at all. So, And you have other people who saw it, who said it was a police officer who was there, who was right there. So, here we go. You got the officers on one hand saying some African-American young male shot in the crowd and shot the brother in his head. Took an opportunity to just, shoot a brother in the head. Whatever. So, and then on the other side, you have eyewitnesses who say that they saw this plain and clear. They saw a cop walk right up and shot the brother in his head for no reason at all. He was just protesting, and that's his right according to the Constitution. You know what I mean? So we know how that goes, man. You know what I'm saying? With the media and how they manipulate the media, meaning the officers, they push what they want to push through the media, and they push whatever information they want to give. Covering up themselves and making themselves look like they are the ones in the right, when in actuality, it could be the other way. And I heard the police chief myself on basically on an interview, a local news here, and I read it in the newspaper. He was saying the next day, like, he had a gun. The investigation wasn't even, it just started. How can you say he had a gun when you wasn't there to know? You wasn't there. How can you come out and just say that? You just supporting your officers. That's all you're proving. You don't care about waiting till the investigation finishes before you say he had a gun. You should say it is said that he possibly had a gun. That's what I believe it should have been said, even by the police chief. And by the way, he's a black man, you know what I mean? I said this at the ending of, before our stoppage of the last blog. I mentioned that in the last blog before our stoppage of that. Technical difficulties came about, but I mentioned that, you know what I mean? And he's a black man, you know what I mean? Putney, that's his last name. But anyway, we know what's up with that, man. This right here is something that deserves to be. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely deserving of national and international attention. But these things right here are gonna keep occurring from what I believe in and why. Because we have to do something. And people say, what is that something, Wakil? Do you know it? Yeah, I know it. I know what we need to do. I know what needs to be done. And any wise black man and woman out here also knows too. So, with that being said, I'll leave it at that for now. You know what I mean? So, we're gonna go more into that. You know what I mean? But anyway, I wanted to basically wrap this. I wanted to wrap up the previous blog. This is nothing but the ending of the previous blog. Even though I know the viewers will see a different setting and they see me in different clothing, and it's basically different setting, but it's the same location. Right now I'm over my brother's house. We actually decided to shoot here. We shot in this same location, which is his house the first time, but it was a different backdrop. So we here live and in living color. You know what I mean? Reporting this because you know why? This is black consciousness night. Right now, right here. This is black consciousness, right? But this is a thing of justice over injustice, man. You know what I'm saying? Seeking justice over injustice, seeking right over wrong, seeking righteous over wicked or evil. You know what I mean? This is what it is. This is what it's boiled down to, man. You know what I mean? And we out here, you're gonna have to stand for something. There's no in between anymore, man. You either over here or you over there. And we're living in the day and age of truth, man, right now. Information, you know what I mean? And which equates to truth. Proper information, which always points to truth. You know what I mean? So, this is it's all the masquerading, the two-faced two-faced people masquerading as this, but really behind closed doors they really that, other than what they proclaiming to be. That's all coming to a nod now. You're gonna be seen for who you really are out here, or what you really represent, or what you really are about. Forget the talk, you know what I mean? Now it's time to really, as we know from back in the days, it's an old saying that we used to say back in the days, man, that I used to hear coming up a lot, and I knew it was true. Put up or shut up, you know what I'm saying? And move to the rear. I had that on, man. If you ain't gonna do what need to be done, or if you ain't gonna do your part to actually, you know what I'm saying, help the progress and help the movement where we trying to go as a people, as a whole, man, and free our people, man, the melanated people from the grip of the oppressor, then guess what? You know what I mean? If you ain't trying to do none of that, or if you a straight coward, if you're too cowardly, then move out the way. Yeah, I should have moved out the way, or you're going to get moved out the way. One of the two, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I mean, you know, everybody need to look in the mirror themselves, you know what I mean, and ask themselves that. Any morning, I believe every morning you wake up, look in the mirror and ask yourself, black man or black woman, and black woman, man, any man or any woman, for that matter too. Ask yourself, am I really pleased with who I see in the mirror, who I'm looking at in this mirror? Ask yourself honestly that question. What do I stand for? Ask yourself that question too. Do I stand for anything? What type of man or what type of woman am I? You know what I mean? Ask yourself these questions, man. You know what I mean? And I guarantee you, if you true to yourself, your life will start. I mean, you know, you either gonna realize or either you're gonna accept. You're either gonna come to the point of realizing and accepting who you really are, or either if you really, or if you not that, which you see, or what you formerly knew yourself as, then you come to terms with yourself and say, you know what, I'm just not that. You know what I mean? Whether it be disheartening or whether it be uplifting. Meaning you find out, when you ask yourself these questions, that you really are who you are seen as by the people, or who you know yourself to be. That will be uplifting. But if you are not who you proclaiming to be, or who you proclaim, or who you show yourself to be to people, or ones who know you in your inner circle, or people in your area, people in your reach, then guess what? That's going to be disheartening. And you know what? You know what I mean? Really, people like that really deserve whatever they get, because you shouldn't be playing out here nowadays, because it's very real. We have no room for games, all right? This is not Monopoly, this is not Scrabble, this is not no board game, this is not no game like they call it, the game. The life is real serious, life is real. And if you ain't out here playing as far as, and it ain't even playing, but I use that word to say, if you ain't out here taking life the way it's supposed to be taken, which is serious, then guess what? I believe you don't even need to be on the planet, man. I believe you need to be gone. You need to be out of here. You might not even be good. You might not even be good for the maggots, man, of the earth, man, and the worms, man. You know what I'm saying? Really, they might spit you back out after you've gone and they put you in the ground. You know what I mean? Maggots, your bones, your flesh start decaying, and the maggots, the worms start eating on you. They might spit you out when you're one of them foul ones. One of these ones who really stood for nothing, who never did nothing, who wasn't about nothing, who wasn't, in the words of Malcolm, house nigga, you know what I mean? House Negro, so to speak, yeah. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna wrap this shoot up, all right? I mean, you know, we're gonna have more coming up on this particular topic right here, because it's very close and it's very near to me, because, you know, of who the brother was, who they murdered. The brother, I'm talking about Keith Lamont Scott, because I have a brother who actually was very close to this brother, so, you know what I mean, who I know very well. So, you know, I never knew the brother personally,
you know, I heard about him, you know what I'm saying, through the brother that I know actually. So, you know, the brother that I know, who was the near dear brother with me, you know what I mean, who befriended the brother because he lived in the same complex as the brother. So, you know what I mean, we both communicated about that, and you know, it's just a deep thing. The city felt it too, you know what I mean, very, as everyone knows, because all they got to do is look at the protest, what happened. It was a little, it wasn't light, you know what I mean, it was some things brewing, it was hot in the streets on September the 21st, that Wednesday night here in Charlotte. So, you know, the people not going to take much more, man, you know what I'm saying. So, you know, we had a crossroads. I saw a police officer at the transit one, I think it was, this was, the riots happened, the little protests and the many riots happened that Wednesday night. I think it was that Friday night, not Friday night, pardon me. I saw this officer at the transit, you know, and that was that Friday evening, Friday afternoon. And, you know, I seen him standing next to me as I was waiting on my bus, and, you know, he actually he was standing there, and it was meant for me. And I stepped to him, and I wanted to voice how I felt to one of CMPD's, you know what I mean. So one of CMPD's officers who was next to me right there. So, you know, I stepped to him and I approached him and I dropped some things on him, some heavy things about how I felt, you know what I mean? And I expressed them the only way I know how, and people who know me know I'm only one way, and that's real. Whenever I'm talking, especially about something that's very near and dear to me and I'm very serious about, and it's very disheartening, meaning the situation that's going on with black men and women in the street being murdered, I'm not holding nothing back, man. I give it all, you know. So, you know, I did that, and, you know, come to find out the officer was feeling that. And you know what he told me? I'm not going to get into our whole conversation, but he told me at the end, you know what he told me? And this will let you know as far as how I was delivering what I was delivering and everything that was with that, meaning he basically detected what frequency I was on, you know what I'm saying? And he said this at the end. He said, man, I'm glad we had this conversation, man. He said it was needed. He said, man, I really felt your power, your energy, and I really felt your real concern, that you really concerned about what happened with the brother Keith Lamont Scott being murdered, and what happened with the younger brother getting shot the next day, that next night, which was Wednesday night at the protest, doing protesting. And he said, and I really do feel like, I felt your power and your pain and your concern, man. And I said, yeah. He said, man, that's much needed. He wanted to give me 5, man, but I was getting ready to leave. I could tell he really was genuine. And I said, well, I said I could only give it up the way I know how, man. And coming from me knowing who I am and me being who I am, and me feeling the way I'm feeling right now, it can't come out but only in truth. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because that's just who I be, man. You know what I'm saying? And he felt that. And he respected that. And he basically, you know what I'm saying, bowed his head to that. But I know on any given day, you know what I'm saying? I know what side he's on, and the officers take the majority of them, man. If push come to shove, man, they'll take the side of their comrade, their cohort. You know what I'm saying? So, we know, but we have to ask the officers, the police, I believe, have to start policing themselves. Have to start policing the police, meaning the cops that stand for something and that are not corrupt and that are not rogue cops out here to do wicked and evil and destructive things. I believe they should police the cops that are, because they know who these cops are within their precinct or within their department. They know. You work with them every day, you know who's the racist, you know who's not. You know what I mean? Whether you Whether you acknowledge it, that's another whole story. You know what I mean? Or turn your face to it and act like you don't see what you know you see, or act like you don't know what you know. That's another whole story. But that's what I'm talking about. That's what needs to get done. It's for starters. You know what I mean? And when that gets done, when that starts getting done, we'll see a change as far as from within the inner structure. You know what I mean? Within the police departments around the states, around the whole nation. It'll start from within, and we'll see a change. But you know, I believe it's a slight chance, man. You know what I'm saying? Slight chance. So, you know, I'm not really big on that. I mean, you know, like believing that that'll happen, because I do know reality is reality, man. And, you know, I know we living under white supremacy. So, you know what I'm saying? In this system, in this corporation. So, you know, it's looking grim, man. So, you know, I say that to say this. I mean, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this shoot up. You know, family. I'll be seeing y'all again very soon. Y'all tune in, stay tuned, family. And until next time, I tell y'all, this is Wakil signing off, all right? Salams.